Receiving the top maul from Starbuck, he advanced towards the mainmast with the hammer uplifted in one hand, exhibiting the gold with the other, and with a high raised voice exclaiming, "Whosoever of ye raises me a white-headed whale with a wrinkled brow and a crooked jaw, whosoever of ye raises me that white-headed whale with 3 holes punctured in his starboard fluke, look ye, whosoever of ye raises me that same white whale, he shall have this gold ounce, my boys." "Huzzah! Huzzah!" cried the seamen, as with swinging tarpaulins they hailed the act of nailing the gold to the mast. "It is a white whale, I say," resumed Ahab, as he threw down the top maul. "A white whale. Skin your eyes for him, men. Look sharp for white water. If you see but a bubble, sing out." And all this while, Tashtego, Daggoo, and Queequeg had looked on with even more intense interest and surprise than the rest. And at the mention of the wrinkled brow and crooked jaw, they had started as if each was separately touched by some specific recollection. "Captain Ahab," said Tashtego, "that white whale must be the same that some call Moby Dick." "Moby Dick," shouted Ahab. "Do you know the white whale then, Tash?" "Does he fantail a little curious, sir, before he goes down?" said the gay-headed deliberately. "And he has a curious spout, too," said Daggoo. "Very bushy, even for a parmacetti, and mighty quick, Captain Ahab. And he have 1, 2, 3, good many iron in him hide, too, Captain," cried Queequeg disjointedly. "All twixty betwixt like him, faltering hard for a word and screwing his hand round and round as though uncorking a bottle. Like him, corkscrew," cried Ahab. "Aye, Queequeg, the harpoons lie all twisted and wrenched in him. Aye, Daggoo, his spout is a big one, like a whole shock of wheat, and white as a pile of Nantucket wool after the great annual sheep shearing. Aye, Tashtego, and he fantails like a split jib in a squall. Death and devil's men, it is Moby Dick ye have seen. Moby Dick! Moby Dick!" "Captain Ahab," said Starbuck, who with Stubb and Flask had thus far been eyeing his superior with increasing surprise, but at last seemed struck with a thought which somewhat explained all the wonder. "Captain Ahab, I have heard of Moby Dick, but it was not Moby Dick that took off thy leg." "Who told thee that?" cried Ahab. Then pausing, "Aye, Starbuck. Aye, my hearties all around, it was Moby Dick that dismasted me. Moby Dick that brought me to this dead stump I stand on now. Aye, aye," he shouted with a terrific, loud animal sob, like that of a heart-stricken moose. "Aye, aye, it was that accursed white whale that raised me, made a poor pegging lover of me forever and a day." And then tossing both arms with measureless imprecation, she shouted out, "Aye, aye, and I'll chase him round Good Hope, and round the Horn, and round the Norway maelstrom, and round perdition's flames before I give him up. And this is what you've shipped for, men, to chase that white whale on both sides of land, and over all sides of earth, till he spouts black blood and rolls fin out. What say ye, men? Will ye splice hands on it now? I think you do look brave." "Aye, aye," shouted the harpooneers and seamen, running closer to the excited old man. "A sharp eye for the white whale! A sharp lance for Moby Dick! God bless ye!" He seemed to half sob and half shout. "God bless ye, men! Steward, go draw the great measure of grog. But what's this long face about, Mr. Starbuck? Wilt thou not chase the white whale? Art not game for Moby Dick?" "I am game for his crooked jaw, and for the jaws of death too, Captain Ahab, if it fairly comes in the way of the business we follow. But I came here to hunt whales, not my commander's vengeance. How many barrels will thy vengeance yield thee, even if thou gettest it, Captain Ahab? It will not fetch thee much in our Nantucket market." "Nantucket market, hoot! But come closer, Starbuck. Thou requirest a little lower layer. If money's to be the measure of man, and the accountants have computed their great counting house the globe by girdling it with guineas 1 to every 3 parts of an inch, then let me tell thee that my vengeance will fetch a great premium here." "He smites his chest," whispered Stubb. "What's that for? Methinks it rings most vast but hollow." "Vengeance on a dumb brute," cried Starbuck, "that simply smote thee from blindest instinct. Madness! To be enraged with a dumb thing, Captain Ahab, seems blasphemous. Hark ye yet again, the little lower layer. All visible objects, man, are but pasteboard masks. But in each event, in the living act, the undoubted deed, there, some unknown but still reasoning thing puts forth the moldings of its features from behind the unreasoning mask. If man will strike, strike through the mask. How can the prisoner reach outside except by thrusting through the wall? To me, the white whale is that wall. Shove near to me. Sometimes I think there's not beyond, but 'tis enough. He tasks me. He heaps me. I see in him outrageous strength with an inscrutable malice sinewing it. And that inscrutable thing is chiefly what I hate. And be the white whale agent or be the white whale principal, I will wreak that hate upon him. Talk not to me of blasphemy, man. I'd strike the sun if it insulted me. For could the sun do that, then I could do the other. Since there is ever a sort of fair play herein, jealousy presiding over all creations. But not my master man is even that fair play. Who's over me? Truth hath no confines. Take off thine eye, more intolerable than fiends' glarings is a doltish stare. So thou reddenest and palest, my head has melted thee to anger glow. But look ye, Starbuck, what is said in heat, that thing unsays itself. There are men from whom warm words are small indignity. I meant not to incense thee. Let it go. Look, see yonder Turkish cheeks of spotted tawn, living, breathing pictures painted by the sun, the pagan leopards, the unbrecking and unworshipping things that live and seek and give no reasons for the torrid life they live. The crew, man, the crew. Are they not one and all with Ahab in this matter of the whale? See Stubb, he laughs. See yonder Chilean, he snorts to think of it. Stand up amid the general hurricane, thy one-tossed sapling cannot, Starbuck. And what is it? Reckon it. 'Tis but to help strike a fin. No wondrous feat for Starbuck. What is it more? From this one poor hunt, then, the best lance out of all Nantucket, surely he will not hang back when every foremast hand has clutched a whetstone. Ah, constrainings seize thee, I see, the billow lifts thee. Speak, but speak! Aye, thy silence, then, that voices thee. Something shot from my dilated nostrils, he has inhaled it in his lungs. Starbuck is now mine, cannot oppose me now without rebellion. God, keep me, keep us all, murmured Starbuck, lowly. But in his joy at the enchanted tacit acquiescence of the mate, Ahab did not hear his foreboding invocation, nor yet the low laugh from the hold, nor yet the presaging vibrations of the winds in the cordage, nor yet the hollow flap of the sails against the masts, as for the moment their hearts sank in. For again Starbuck's downcast eyes lighted up with the stubbornness of life. The subterranean laugh died away. The winds blew on, the sails filled out, the ship heaved and rolled as before. Ah, ye admonitions and warnings, why stay ye not when ye come? But rather are ye predictions than warnings, ye shadows. Yet not so much predictions from without as verifications of the foregoing things within. For with little external to constrain us, the innermost necessities in our being, these still drive us on. The measure, cried Ahab. Receiving the brimming pewter and turning to the harpooneers, he ordered them to produce their weapons. Then ranging them before him near the capstan with the harpoons in their hands, while his three mates stood at his side with their lances and the rest of the ship's company formed a circle around the group. He stood for an instant searchingly eyeing every man of his crew. But those wild eyes met him as the bloodshot eyes of the prairie wolves meet the eye of their leader ere he rushes on at their head in the trail of the bison, but alas, only to fall into the hidden snare of the Indian. Drink and pass, he cried, handing the heavy charged flagon to the nearest seaman. The crew alone now drink. Round with it, round. Short draughts, long swallows, men. 'Tis hot as Satan's hoof. So it goes round excellently. It spiralizes in ye, forks out at the serpent's snapping eye. Well done, almost strained. That way it went, this way it comes. Hand it me. Here's a hollow. Men, ye seem the years, so brimming life is gulped and gone. Steward, refill.
Upshot now.